Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in 1987 American League replay. We are at another game on May the 20th, and it's going to be game number 264 of replay. It'll be Toronto at California. Jimmy Key on the mound for the Blue Jays. He is 8-0. Let me fix my little thing here. He's 8-0. Lazorko has no record. He's 0-0. And I decided, hello, Ben. I've already had my 3 cups of coffee, Ben, so don't have coffee with me. I've already had my intake of, maximum intake of coffee that I I could handle. For whatever reason, hit me. I don't know why. Maybe some people like this. It might bore some people to tears. I don't know, but some people like watching the setup of the score sheet. I don't know why, but some people do. So I'll try it today, and if people don't like it and they'd rather just go straight to the game, I'll do that in the future. But right now, I'm just going to do it for today. All right, so we go to our starting lineups. First for the Toronto Blue Jays. Leading off will be Tony Fernandez at shortstop. And these are as-played lineups. Tony Fernandez. I have the Strat-O-Matic computer right in front of me showing me the lineups. He's a 1E17 and he's a 15 speed. Maybe if I do it slower like this and I do it one at a time, maybe my handwriting won't be as bad. I don't know. All right, Rob Ducey is going to be in center field. They are giving Lloyd Mosby the day off for whatever reason. So he is a 3-0-E5. He is in center field, and he runs at a 16. Fred McGriff is going to be the designated hitter, hitting third. And he runs at a 10. George Bell in left field. Runs at a 13, and he is a 2-2 E13. Jesse Barfield in right field will hit fifth. I actually was going to type this out last night, but I changed my mind. For whatever reason, people don't seem to care for the typed out score sheet, even though it looks so much neater. Like I said, I don't know what people prefer. I'm good either way. It doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. Maybe variety is good. Change it up every now and then. Don't be too predictable. Ernie Witt is your catcher. He's going to hit seventh. His T rating is a 4. Runs at a 10, and he is a 2-0 E2. Kelly Gruber at third. I'm sorry, I got the wrong guy. Kelly Gruber at third. And he is a 3E24. Running at a 15. And last but not least, Garth Orge. Second base, and he is a 4E13. Running at an 11. All right, so there are your Blue Jays. And the pitcher, of course, is left-hander Jimmy Key, who comes into the game with an 8-0 record. He was 17-8 real world. He has a -6 hold, so that's going to make that a -5, as Witt is a 0 arm. So there you go. The Blue Jays are complete. And these are the bench players the Blue Jays will have available to them for pinch hitting and defensive purposes. And then this is the bullpen they will have available. One lefty, Musselman. Everybody else, Nunez, Eichhorn, and Hinkie, are right-handers. All right, so that's going to take care of the Blue Jays. Hello, Mr. Gudeman. Good to see you. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. Oh, you're off work this week, Ben. Cool. Good deal. All right. So, Jeff, sometimes you like the zen of the Strat-O-Matic. You call it the zen or whatever. So I don't know how much zen this is, but I decided to do the score sheet as I get ready to play. So leading off for the Angels will be Dick Schofield. I think it's the first time I've ever seen him lead off a game in this replay. These are as-played lineups, of course. So Dick Schofield is your shortstop, and he is a 2E12, and he runs at a 15. Hitting second is Wally World, Wally Joyner. And I always remember his ratings and his speed because it's 11, but it's a 1-11-11. So it's 1, E11, and an 11. So that's pretty easy to remember. Brian Downing, the designated hitter, will hit third. And I forgot to put in Joyner at first base. DH, and he runs at an 11. Batting cleanup will be Doug DeSensei at third base. He is a 3E23, and he runs at a 10. Devon White will be in right field, where he is a 1-3 arm, E9, running at a 17. Catcher is veteran Bob Boone. Boone T rating is a 5. He's a 1-3 E14 with a 9. Jack Howell will be in left field. Where he is not very good. He's a 4+2 and an E4, and he runs at a 12. Next up is center fielder Gary Pettis. He's a 1, a +1, and an E10, and he runs at a 17. And second baseman Mark McLemore finishes it out. He's a 2E22. Can't make a 2 today. 2E22, running at a 16. And let's see, Boone's a -3, and the pitcher is Jack Lazorko. Lazorko was 5-6 with a 4.59 ERA in real world, both a starter and a reliever. He's a -1 hold. Boone's a -3, so that's a -4. And that might slow down the running game of the Blue Jays just a tad. You never know. Looking at the bench of players available for the Angels, they have 4 of them: Jones, Ryle, Polder, and Miller. So those are the 4 that can pinch hit, play defense. We have 3 right-handers in the bullpen available: Bice, Cook, and Moore, and Lucas and Finley, the lefties. So 5 bullpen arms will be available. If you didn't see them there, they're not on the roster, so you won't be able to see them. Okay. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you. I've already had my coffee, so I don't like oh yeah, I guess I could do stats in the beginning, and that might be a thing. I don't know. I have to think about that. Ever evolving, I guess, is the word for it. The Blue Jays entered the game 24-13. California enters 18-21. Like I said, Lazorko making his, well, I think it's his first start. I think he's done some relief work. Let's take a look here. Lazorko, actually, no, this is his first game, period. This will be his initial. He has not pitched in the replay yet, so he just got called up recently, and this will be his first action as a starter. Later on, he will go in the bullpen and be a bullpen arm. But for right now, he is a starting pitcher. In real world, like I said, he was 5-6 with a 459 earned run average. That's what the Angels have going for him with Mr. Lazorko. Sounds almost like I don't know, it sounds like a villain in the Superman comics or something, Lazorko. Almost like Bizarro kind of thing. Maybe that's where I'm getting it from. I don't know. But this is game 264, and we will be ready to get going here. I did not see the game on RJL Network, Ben, so I don't know what made it depressing. I don't know, was he depressed or was just the game a bad, not a good game, or what happened with that? I did not see it. Hello, Scott. Good to see you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get going with this. Oh, well, they won 3-0. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, his Mets can't win every game, So got to be impartial when you play these things. So, all right. So we're ready to go. Tony Fernandez. And on the replay, Fernandez is hitting 381. He's one of the league leaders in hitting. He hit 322 real world, but he's 381 on the replay and 155 at bats. He's hitting 381. No homers, 12 driven in. And Lazorko going to make his first pitch of the 1987 replay. That's a 5-11 switch hitter batting left, and that is a ballpark single right off the bat, which is 1-5 for both lefties and righties. That's a 16, so he will line it to second base. One away. So one down. And that will take us to Rob Ducey. Ducey hitting 222. He's 2 for 18. 222. I'm sorry, 4 for 18. 222, 2 doubles. No homers and a run driven in. He's had 18 at bats in the real season. He ended up with 48, so he's got a few more at bats to go, but not by that much. Hold on, let me push this up a little bit higher. If you're thinking it's getting cut off here, hold on. Thank you, Ben, for that heads up. Because I'm not looking at the computer screen on my laptop. That's got the Strat-O-Matic computer game up, and I'm scoring. So I'm looking through my phone to be able to see what you guys are seeing, but sometimes I'm not paying attention all that well. So let's bring this over just a touch so the dice tray doesn't get lost in translation either. Come on, stay there. There we go. I think that's good right there. All right, here's Ducey. 2-8, and he's going to ground it to first. Wally Joyner to the bag himself. 2 down, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter, Fred McGriff. McGriff on the replay hitting 231. 6 homers, 13 driven in. He hit 247 real world. That's a 2-2, and that's going to be a straight-up home run. Not to belabor a phrase or borrow a phrase from Mr. Gudeman, but that is clean as a baby's you-know-what. 2-2, home run, solid for Fred McGriff. The crime dog goes deep, his 7th home run of the season. No D20 needed, and he takes Lazorko deep. Home run number 7, RBI number 14 on the season for McGriff. And here's George Bell. George Bell stepping to the plate. And he's hitting 272, 10 homers, 28 driven in. 5-11, and that's a ballpark blast. 1-12, but that's a 16, so Lazorko caught a break. Just a deep fly to left, but McGriff puts Toronto in the lead 1-0 to start this ball game. And the way Jimmy Key has pitched this season, that might be enough to do it. Jimmy Key on the replay, incredible numbers. Incredible. These are like Bob Gibson 1968 type numbers. He is 8-0 with a 126 earned run average. 72 hits, 72 innings pitched, only 47 hits, 20 walks, and 52 strikeouts. Incredible numbers on the replay. Now watch him get shelled since I just, touted him. But here's Schofield. He's going to lead off hitting 247, 2 homers, 15 driven in. That's a 4-8, and that's going to be a line out to second base. Snagged by Orge, and there's one away. Garth Clockwork Orge. Here's Wally Joyner. He's hitting 336 on the replay, 9 homers, 25 driven in. Lefty on lefty matchup, 3-7. That's a fly to right field. And Barfield will run it down for out number 2. And that will bring up Brian Downing. Almost, for those that missed it last night in the Demolition League, I came so close to a no-hitter. Very, very close. 8 2/3 innings. Closest I've ever come to a no-hitter in Strat-O-Matic. But couldn't quite pull the trick. All right, here's Brian Downing hitting 388 on the replay. He's really killing it. 13 home runs, 35 driven in. 5'10". That's a catcher X. And that is Witt. He's a 2E2. Joe Ryan, Ben. Joe Ryan of the Twins. So 2-19 against the A's. 2-9. The problem was the game went extra innings, so even if I'd gotten the no-no through 9 innings, it wouldn't have been a no-hitter anyway because the game was never over. It was not over at that point. Hello, Dan. Good to see you. So we're doing the catcher X, and Witt's a 2E2. 2-19 is a G2, and that's a 12. So no problem there. Just a 2-3 ground out, and they retire Brian Downing to end the inning. And the ironic part on that play was it was a split chance between a home run and a triple. So he came one number from not only losing the no-hitter, but losing the game because it was a scoreless tie in the bottom of the 9th, but the player only got a triple, and it went extra innings. But the D20, one more number, it would have been a home run to walk it off, and you'd have lost the no-hitter, the shutout, and the game all at one time. All right, so we go to the second inning. No score. I'm sorry, Toronto leading 1-0. And Lazorko back out will face Jesse Barfield. Barfield hitting 310, 13 homers, 41 driven in. 3-9, and that is a split chance. 1-4 is a single. That's a 20. So he will line it to Dick Schofield, one away. And the bad part was Xfinity screwed up on me in the 6th inning. So I had to shut down the broadcast and bring it back up. I mean, the stream itself, when you go back look at it now, it's all one piece, but there is a little part there where I lose it and I come back. But that was in like the 6th inning, so it had nothing to do with the potential no-hitter. All right, here is Willie Upshaw. Upshaw hitting 223, no homers, 11 driven in. That's a 4-7, left-handed, and that's a base on balls. First walk issued by Lazorko. Upshaw has a 3-7 to get the steal chance, but Lazorko's a -4. So even if he got the lead, you'd be talking a 1-9, and that's not really, worth it. So they'll hold him there. He will be held on, but he won't go anywhere. Witt is your batter, Ernie Witt. And Ernie Witt's hitting 306, 5 homers, 17 driven in. 1-6, and that's going to be another base on balls. The other thing about that game was I forgot for the first couple of extra innings to do the ghost runner. And then I had to try to figure out how to score the ghost runner on paper. So I just put GR and put him at second base on my little diamond, and that was about the extent of it. So I'm not sure if there's a nomenclature technically for that or not. But hello, Roger. Good to see you. All right, so Gruber stepping to the plate. He's hitting 333, 5 homers, 13 driven in. Lazorko has 2 on and 1 out, needs a double play. 3-5, and instead he's going to hit Kelly Gruber. So a little bit of wildness here. 2 walks and now a hit by pitch. And without the benefit of a hit, the Blue Jays have loaded the bases. Only one out for Garth Orge. Infield for the Blue Jays is going to play in because of they know the reputation of Jimmy Key. Runs are at a premium, so they're going to play in. 1-8, and it's a ground ball shortstop A, so they won't get the inning-ending double play, but they'll get the fourth out at home. I'm pretty sure it's just the way it's going to work out. We'll come over here to our chart. Infield in, bases loaded, ground ball A is a 9. Batter out, runner on third out, double play. Oh, it's a double play. Okay, so it's still a double play. Cool. Batter out, runner on third out, double play. So that's going to go on a 1-8. It's going to go 6. It's going to be 6 to 2 to 3. How about that? 6 to 2 to 3 double play. Don't see that every day. Six to 2 to 3. So there you go. Innings over. Lazorko gets out of it with the ground ball magic. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Jays. Roger, I have not put that game in the computer yet, so I'm not sure. But, I mean, they do have the settings for it because they do have you can set it up to do 2023 rules, or you can set it up to do pre-2020 rules. So I have it set up in the very beginning because it already makes you use a pitcher for 3 batters. So I'm pretty sure it would, when I go to do the game and put the game in the computer, it'll just pop him right on second base. That's usually what happens there. All right, here's Doug DeSensei. He's hitting .204, 5 homers and 20 runs driven in. It's a 1-7, and he's going to strike out. First strikeout for Jimmy Key. And that'll bring up Devon White. White is hitting .267, 7 homers, 24 driven in. It's a 3-4, and that's a pop out to shortstop. So it pops up to Tony Fernandez. And there's 2 away for Bob Boone, the veteran. Boone hitting 200 even in 30 at-bats. No homers and 2 driven in. 6-7 against Key is a 1-4 single, but that's a 6. So he will line it to Fernandez, and that's going to end the inning. So 2 innings in the books. No score. Or I keep saying no score. Toronto has the run via the home run from McGriff. Don't want to shortchange the crime dog. It's 1-0 Toronto. As we go to the bottom or top of the third. And the top of the order due up, Tony Fernandez. 1-2, and he's going to draw yet another walk. That is the 3rd walk issued by Lazorko. So he is having some control issues, obviously. Fernandez, looking to get a lead, needs a 6 or a 7 to obtain that lead. He does not do it, so he will hold. And Rob Ducey, the batter. 6-6 left-handed. That's a pop-up to short. Schofield is there, 1 away. And Fred McGriff, who hit the home run his first time up, is stepping to the plate again, this time with a runner on. That's a 4-6, and he will walk. So Lazorko wanted no part of McGriff. That's the 4th walk issued by Lazorko. And we're just in the 3rd inning. He's also hit a batter, so definitely some wildness going on. Here is George Bell. .27 for Bell. That's a single to right field. Devon White is a -3 arm. Fernandez does run pretty well to 15. Was not being held, makes him a 16, but that's a 13 there with the -3. So I think they're going to, with Devon White's arm, I think they're going to hold everybody up. Bases are now loaded with only 1 out. And Jesse Barfield, who has the league leading home runs with 13. So you want to make sure people on the base for him. Bases loaded. Infield again for the Blue Jays is, well, they're going to play back for the double play this time. 6-10, and that's a catcher X. But now with runners on base, Bob Boone's got to be careful. He is a 1, so that will help. Hello, Jeremiah. Boone is a 1. The D20 is a 12. We'll see what that does for a catcher. A 1 and a 12 is a pop out, so it won't be a pass ball or anything as long as there's no error, but that's a 3, and you can get some funny shenanigans on a 3, especially with an E14. So E14, there's a 3 right here. There's a 2-base error on a pop-up to the catcher. That seems rather extreme to be a 2-base error, but we'll check it out. Pop out. The catcher drops a foul pop-up for an error. Play resumes with the same batter at the plate. Okay, so there's no... It's a foul pop-up, so it'll be an error on Boone. We'll have to denote that it's an E2 on a foul out and make sure we credit California with an error. So Barfield's still at the plate with the bases loaded. No 2-base error, Ben. It doesn't say it's a pop-up on the infield, and which didn't make sense. I mean, the runners would be holding on a pop-up, so there's no way they're going to get 2 bases on an error. So it is and I was looking at P/P. Oh, wait a minute. I was looking at P/F maybe, or was I? No, I was looking at foul out. That's what I was looking at. Hold on. Let me redo this. It was a foul out. It was a pop out. It was PO. Let's go to PO. Where's PO? I was looking at the wrong place. The catcher grabs a squib. Wait a minute, that's not right. That's a pop out. How can he grab a squib in front of the plate on a pop out? That makes no sense. All right, somebody's going to have to explain this one to me here. Somebody's got to explain this one because I haven't hit this on Strat-O-Matic yet. It is a pop out. That means the ball goes in the air. But the error 2 says the catcher grabs a squib in front of the plate. So which is it? Is it a pop out or is it a squib in front of the plate? I'm not sure how you want to, because it doesn't make any sense. Because if it's a PO, it's a pop out. Ball's in the air. There is no squib. I don't know. This is strange. This is strange. I'm going to override it. I'm going to go with my original result and just say it's a foul out and Boone dropped it and it's an error. And I'm just going to call it like that and leave it at that. I'm not going to mess with no squib. I'm going to go ahead and go with the pop out because that's what the original result was a pop out. All right, so Barfield back at the plate, bases loaded. Infield back for the double play. 5-7, ground ball shortstop X. So we're looking at Schofield. He's a 2E12. 2 and a 14. Don't know if they can turn 2 off of this or not. 2 and a 14 is a G1, so it's a possible double play, but that's a 15. This could be an error. Schofield's an E12. And there's a 15 sitting right here. 1-base error. So back-to-back errors. So Barfield, they commit 2 errors around Barfield. E2 and an E6. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Fernandez will come in and score. Going to third is McGriff, and going to second is Barfield. So 1-base error on Schofield. That's not helping Lazorko's cause either way you go. And here's Upshaw. Upshaw again. The infield is now in. They can't afford another run. 4-6, and that's a walk. He's going to walk in another run. So Lazorko his time in the game may be numbered as he is just having some issues here. California bullpen is loosening. So I want to see who's got the most rest because they're going to need somebody to eat some innings. See if Finley is rested or not. He's a little bit overworked. Lucas is okay, I guess. Yeah, Gary Lucas is going to loosen in the bullpen. He's got pretty good rest. He can go 3 innings. So Gary Lucas, a left-hander, is loosening the bullpen. Yeah, Jeremiah, this wasn't even a rare play. This was just a regular old pop-out that just didn't make any sense. So how you can put a pop-out a result to be a squib in front of the plate, I think that's a typo, or it's a logic error if nothing else. If nothing else, it's a logical error. So here is Ernie Witt. Hello, Dr. D. Ernie Witt is your batter. Ernie Witt. Bases are still loaded. Witt's a good double play candidate, though, so they're going to play back for the double play if his fielders can make the play. 2-4 for Witt, and that's a strikeout, so that's a big help for Lazorko right there to get the strikeout for out number 2. And here's Kelly Gruber. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. That's a 6-8, and that's yet another walk by Lazorko. He will force in another run, and that's going to do it for Lazorko. They can't take it anymore. As Elton John once sang, I don't want to go on with you like that, Mr. Lazorko. So they're not. They're going to pull Lazorko, send him back to the bizarro world or wherever he came from, and go with Gary Lucas instead. So we'll bring in Lucas into the ball game, and he's going to try to go as far as he can go to save their bullpen from overwork. Lucas on the replay, 1-0 with 2 saves, an ERA of 3, 18 innings pitched, 15 hits, 10 walks, and 14 strikeouts. So Lucas, his name is Lucas, and he lives on the second floor. And he'll be facing Gruber with the bases loaded and 2 outs. That's a 1-8 against the lefty, and he struck him out to end the inning. But 3 runs come in for Toronto, and they have given they have given Jimmy Key a practically insurmountable lead to protect at 4-0, because the way Jimmy Key pitches, you thought 1 run was hard. 4 runs is really going to be hard. Yeah, Ben, I grew up on 80s music, and just when I see something, it triggers something in my mind, and I think of something off the wall. My head is full of useless knowledge. All right, here's Jack Howell. He's hitting 279, 3 homers, 14 driven in on the replay. Lefty against lefty. 4-5, and that's a fly ball to left. George Bell is there, 1 away. Apparently Jimmy Key suffered no rust by sitting in the dugout for that long inning. Here's Gary Pettis. Pettis hitting 267, no homers, 12 driven in. 5-7, right-handed switch hitter. Ground ball, second base X. That's Orge. He's a 4E13. 4-10. He should get to that. 4-10 is a G3. Second baseman, he is an E13, and that is an 11. E13, there is no 11, so Garth Orge will make the play. Like clockwork. And there's 2 away. Notice how I threw that in there for Garth Clockwork Orge. All right, here's Mark McLemore. 256 hitter, 3 homers, 19 driven in the replay. Now you're not going to hear Huey Lewis. I'm sorry. I like Huey Lewis, but I'm not singing anything. All right, 3-10, McLemore against the lefty Key. 3-10 is a ground ball to third, and that will end the inning. So Key is perfect through 3 innings, shutting down the Angels big time. And it brings their offense back onto the field. All 9 batters came to the plate last inning. So Fernandez, who led off last inning, will lead off this inning. Oh, yeah. I would love to go back to I had such a great time in the 80s. Especially the late 80s. Early 80s, maybe not so much, but late 80s, mid 80s, maybe not so much, but early and mid, not so much. But late 80s, definitely. All right. That was my college years. All right. So Gary Lucas to Tony Fernandez. 4-4. Switch hitter, batting right. That's an in-home run chance, 1-6. That is a 6, but Fernandez has weak power, so he will settle with the base hit. Fernandez looking to get a lead. Lucas is a 0 hold, so it's a -3. 6 or a 7. Get him the lead. Does not get the lead. Here's Rob Ducey, lefty on lefty for Ducey. That's a 6-9 for Lucas, and that's a fly to center. 1 away. And here's Fred McGriff. I believe her name was Susanna Vega that sang that song about Luca. That's where I got Lucas from, living on the 2nd floor. I believe her name was Susanna Vega, if I'm not mistaken. All right, here's Fred McGriff, lefty on lefty. Tom's Diner, yep, I think that was the name of the album. All right, Lucas, 4-5 to McGriff. And that's a solid double for Fred McGriff, double to center field. And Tony Fernandez looking to score. He was not being held. Makes him a 16. The +1 from Pettis makes him a 17. So they're gonna send him 1 to 17. McGriff, my personal rule, McGriff is under a 13 rating, so he cannot go to third on the throw. My personal house rule is you have to have at least a 13 speed to take the extra base. So 1 to 16, 1 to 17, he'll make it. And he does. So it's an RBI double for Fred McGriff. And the Blue Jays extend the lead to 5-0. Here's George Bell. 3-6 for Bell against the lefty. 1 to 13 as a single. That's an 18. So he lines it to Schofield for out number 2. So I've kind of gotten into a rhythm where I do the 87 replay in the morning and the Demolition League at night. And I'm trying to get as close as I can to 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. to do a 9-9 thing. But sometimes I'm off by 10 or 15 minutes. But that's my goal to do that. All right, here is Jesse Barfield. Griffith second, 2 down. There you go, baseball on the 9s. There you go. Here's Barfield, 6-7. Ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Schofield. He's a 2E12. 2E12. Now, tomorrow night will not be any baseball because we're in football season, and tomorrow night is Friday night. That's high school football night with my buddies. So there will be no game tomorrow night in the Demolition League. Game tonight, but no game. Game tonight's Yankees in San Diego from San Diego, but tomorrow night will be an off night for the Demolition League. All right, here's Barfield. Oh, I'm sorry, we're doing a Schofield exchange. That's a 19. He gets to it. That's a 12, and he is an E12. 12 and a 12, no error there. Schofield will make the play. Blue Jays do extend the lead, though, to 5-0. And we go to the bottom half of the 4th. And Schofield, the leadoff man for the Angels. I forgot to put the numbers in for Lazorko, so let me go to the computer real quick. Get his gory details from Mr. Lazorko. Lazorko, 2 2/3. Gives up 2 hits, 4 runs, 2 of which were earned, 6 walks, and 1 strikeout. The 6 walks were obviously his undoing. So Schofield steps up against Key, and Schofield lines to second his first time up. That's a 4-5 against a right-hander, and that's a fly to left. 1 away. And that brings up Wally Joyner, who to right his first chance. 1-11, and that's another fly ball to right field. 2 down, so he's flown out twice to Barfield in right field. And I don't remember what I said Jimmy Key's ERA was when he started the game, but it's now down to 1.19 up to the minute. 1.19 earned run average. He had 2.76 real world. Here's Brian Downey. 3-6, and that's a base on balls. First base runner for the Angels. It's a 2-out walk to Brian Downing. He will not go anywhere. And the Sensei, 3-4. That's a ballpark single check, 1-5, but that's a 15, so he will ground it to short to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Angels again. We go to the 5th. It's still 5-0 favor of Toronto. And Lucas will be back out again to face Upshaw, Witt, and Gruber. A couple of lefties and a righty. Upshaw has walked twice against Lazorko. 5-12, lefty on lefty. It's a fly ball right field excess. Devon White, you know he's going to get there with a 1. I'm just checking the E9. And as I look in my outfield error chart, in E9, the 4 numbers to avoid are 3, 11, 16, and 18. And he does that just fine, so he makes the play, 1 down. And that will bring up Ernie Witt. He has walked and struck out. 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. So now we're going to the left fielder, Jack Howell, 4E4. 4 and a 3. Boy, that double die just turned over at the last minute and cost him. That's going to be a double for Ernie Witt. 4 and a 3 is going to be a double. And that's a 4, and he is a E4, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. It will not. But it's a double for Ernie Witt, and that's the price you pay when you put a 4-rated outfielder out there. Balls are going to find their holes. So here's Kelly Gruber. 1-8 for Gruber against the lefty. Struck him out. 2 down. For Garth Orge. Orge has had a rough game. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch on Lucas. So I need to go to the computer and get his wild pitch rating because, once again, the 87 cards don't list that information. And I'm not writing on my cards. 8 and a 5 is what he is. So he's a wild pitch 8. And that's 4. It will be a wild pitch. Wild pitch by Lucas. Puts the runner at third with 2 outs for Garth Orge. I was going to say Garth Orge had a rough game. He's hitting to a double play, and he struck out. 6-6, and he's going to strike out again. So talk about a rough game for Garth Orge. He has Steam's doing well, but he's not doing so good. So he's going to end the inning with a strikeout. And we go to the top of the 5th, or bottom of the 5th now, actually, in California. And it'll be Devon White, Bob Boone, and Jack Howell due up for the Angels. White popped to short his first time up. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to short. So this time he grounds it to Tony Fernandez. Make a 3 there for some reason. So 6-3 ground out. And here is Bob Boone. Line to short his first time up. 6-5, and that's a 1-5 triple. 6-20 is a single. That's a base hit. First hit of the game for the Angels. It comes here in the 5th inning. Bob Boone with a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Jack Howell. 6-10, and that is a ground ball third base X. We're looking at Gruber, 3E24. 3-10, probably going to be a fielder's choice. Double play is not likely. 3-10 is a G2. That's a 5. It's a rare play. Here we go. So let me pull out my rare play chart. Let's pull out my beta version of the rare play chart. If I can find it, I get buried somewhere. I haven't used it in a while. There it is. So we're going to use my G2 rare play chart. The G2 rare play for Strat would have been batter lines a shot that deflects off the pitcher. The fielder makes the play. So very, very boring. I don't know if mine's any better, but we'll find out. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so it does change things. If run on first, batter hits into a fielder's choice, other runners hold unless forced. If home team is batting, fielder caught daydreaming about being back home as ball gets past him for a single. One rated fielder recovers in time. So it's going to be a single. So that rare play turns that potential out into a single. And let's go with runners at first and second. And that'll bring up Gary Pettis. So that's where the home field advantage comes in, playing at home. Just trying to do something to give the home team a little bit of an edge. Very little, because they're probably ever going to come up. But there's a 1. Jimmy Key's wild pitch rating is a 6. And it's a 4. It will be a wild pitch. So the runners are going to advance, gets them both into scoring position, and takes away the double play. And, of course, up 5-0, you can't play the infield in. It just wouldn't make any sense. So Pettis is up with the infield back. 2-8, and that's a ground ball third base A. And I think the run will score, but we will double check it because when it's hit to the corner, sometimes they don't score. So we'll see second and third with the infield back. It's a ground ball A, 5. If hit to second or short, batter out, runners advance. Otherwise, batter out, runner hold. Okay, so the runners had to hold. Runners had to hold because it was hit to the corner. So that's 2 outs. And everybody had to stay put. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up McLemore. Clutch situation. And in the clutch, McLemore will lose a couple of hits against lefties on the 2-9 and 2-10. So that's something to look out for. That's a 2, though. Can't be a balk or a pass ball. A balk chance. So Jimmy Key has an 8 balk rating. He could balk in a run. He's already wild pitched him up 90 feet. He could send him the other 90 feet with a potential balk. 1-8. That's a 6, so he will balk home a run. Well, you don't see that happen very often. Pitcher wild pitches the runners ahead 90 feet and then balks them in another 90 feet, and that breaks up the shutout. So McLemore still at the plate with Howell now at third. Six-8, switch hitter batting right, and that is a strikeout to end the inning. No, I'm sorry, it's not going to end the inning. That's only second out. My bad. No, it is the third out. My bad. Okay, I was right the first time. Strikeout for Key. It's only a second strikeout. Angels get on the board. And Jimmy Key does not like my rare play charts. And he's complaining to the Strat-O-Matic office and the commissioner saying, what is he doing here? He's not going by the rules. Strict rules of Strat-O-Matic. I should have been out of the inning. So that's just the way it goes. All right, so here's Tony Fernandez against Lucas. And this will be Lucas's fatigue inning right here to keep an eye on. That's a 6-6, switch hitter batting right-handed, and that's a strikeout. So Lucas gets the K on Tony Fernandez. 1 down for Rob Ducey. 1-5 for Ducey, and that's a 1-3 home run. Anything else, he flies to right. So that will be a fly out to right field. For out number 2 for the crime dog, Fred McGriff. And he's had what you would call a good game, I would think. A home run, a walk, and a double. 1-9, but he's going to strike out against the left-hander now. So Lucas pitching very well. Trying to keep his team in the game. It's 5-1. He will keep full endurance into the next inning. And we go to the bottom of the 6th. Jimmy Key, his fatigue is the 7th inning. And Schofield, top of the order for the California Angels. 5-11. Ballpark single. 1-5. That's a 4. Base hit for Dick Schofield. Double Die cooperated with the batting team. Schofield could think about trying to run, but it's a -5 and you're down 5-1, so they're going to stay put. And here is Wally Joyner. Joyner, 6'6", and that's against a lefty. That's a 1-10 double, 11-20 is a single. It's a double 2 stars for Wally Joyner. So the third time around, they're starting to get the key a little bit. Second and third, nobody out for Brian Downing. Infield back because they're still up by 4 runs. So they're not going to, they want to keep it to a 1-run inning, not a bunch of innings. Not a bunch of runs, I mean. 6-6, trouble again in paradise. 1-5 is a double, 6-20 is a single. It's a single 2 stars, so it's a 2-run single from Brian Downing, and all of a sudden it's a 5-3 game. So don't count the Angels out yet. And Jimmy Key's ERA has exploded to 1.53. So still nobody out, and here's the sensei. Downing, no threat to run at first base. 1-7, and that's a strikeout for Jimmy Key, his third. And that'll bring up Devon White. 0-for-2 is Devon White. 5-9, switch hitter batting right-handed. 5-9, it's a fly ball to right, 2 down. As Barfield puts it away. And Bob Boone. Whoops, dropped my D20. Doing the havoc roll and drop the D20. So there's Boone coming up. 2-6, and that's a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. But 2 runs, 2-run single from Brian Downing. And we got ourselves a game. It's 5-3 after 6. And Lucas back out. We'll face Barfield, Upshaw, and Witt. So he's got a couple of lefties after Barfield. So they like to at least get him through this 7th inning. If they can get through the 7th inning with Lucas, they'll be happy. All right, George Bell. 3-7, and he struck him out. Lucas, impressive. That is strikeout. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 6 strikeouts for Gary Lucas. He has come in and shut down. We gave up the single, the 1 run, I mean, in the 4th. But the last couple innings, he's really shut down the Blue Jays. 3-10, left-handed. That's a ballpark blast. Not going to shut him down anymore. That's a 1-12, and that's a 5. Jesse Barfield, his league-leading 14th home run, just got smashed as the Blue Jays look for some insurance. We'll look at it again. 3-10 for Barfield against the left-hander is a ballpark blast. It's 1-12, and that's a 5. So home run number 14 on the replay for Barfield. That does lead the league, RBI number 42. He does not have anywhere near the average to try for a Triple Crown, but he might win the home run RBI race. Here's Upshaw. 6-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. McLemore, 2E22. 2-19 is good. E22 and 9. E22, there's no 9, so that's a good play for McLemore. 2 down. And this will be the last inning for Lucas for sure. If they can get out of this inning, they'll go to somebody else. Finish the game. 1-6 for Witt is a base on balls. So the inning will continue for Kelly Gruber. That's a 1-6, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. And that'll do it for Lucas. So very impressive relief appearance for Gary Lucas. And we'll go to the Strat computer to get the totals for Lucas on this appearance. Save me from doing the math. Lucas is going to go 4 1/3 innings. He will have to rest for at least 2 games before he can come back. 4 innings pitched, 2 runs. They were both earned. 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. A big difference between Lazorko and Lucas are the walk to strikeout ratios. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. Normally, I would use the 7th inning stretch to go warm my coffee and whatnot, but I've already drank my coffee, so there's no need to stop for a 7th inning stretch. We will keep going. And Jimmy Key out for his fatigue inning. 7th inning is his fatigue inning, so keep an eye on that. Jack Howell, the batter. That's a 210, left-handed. That's a ground ball right back to Key. 1 down. Key's still in good shape to go 9-0. Even if his ERA takes a slight hit. Pettis, 4-3. Fly ball left field X, that's Bell. He's a 2E13. 2 and a 7. I think you'll get to that okay. We'll verify it. 2 and a 7 is an F2. He's an E13, and that is a 10. Usually not too many errors on 10s. In this case, that applies. So 2 down. 2 away. And that's going to send up Mark McLemore. That's a 5-5, so it should have been right-handed. Ground ball to second. That will end the inning. So Key will maintain full endurance as he went 1, 2, 3 in the bottom of the 7th. And we go to the 8th inning. Score still 5-3 in favor of Toronto. Important game for Toronto. They got to keep pace with the Yankees and Brewers who keep winning. So the Blue Jays don't want to fall back any further. And Mike Cook will be coming in for the Angels in relief. Cook in real world 1-2 with a 550 earned run average. We'll see what he does going forward. And we'll see how he's done on the replay. Cook. Actually, it won't be. Yeah, it'll be Cook. So Cook on the replay is 1-1 with no saves, a 3.48 earned run average, 31 innings pitched, 31 hits, 22 walks, and 18 strikeouts. And his first batter face will be Garth Orich. 4-9, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Schofield, a 2E12. 2E12, 2 and a 12, we'll get to it, and that's a 10. You're not going to have an error on a 10 with an E12, so that's a good play for Mr. Schofield. 1 away for Fernandez. 1-7, and that is going to be a 1-3 double. Anything else is a single. So Tony Fernandez gets a base hit, his second hit of the game, and he'll be looking to run. Cook is a 0 hold, so it's a -3 with Boone's -3, but Fernandez needs a 6 or 7 to get the lead. He does not, so he will hold. And here's Rob Ducey. 3-7 for Ducey against the right-hander. He flies to right field, and that's 2 away. I think some of these cards are starting to go off the edge here, so I'll bring them back. But the 3-7 is a fly to right. So 2 down for Fred McGriff. 2-5, and he's going to strike out to end the inning. So a nice inning for Cook. He'll come back and pitch the 9th. Go to the bottom of the 8th, still 5-3. Angels will have the top of the order coming up. Schofield, Joyner, and Downing due up for the Angels against Jimmy Key. .310 for Schofield. Fly ball to center. 1 away. Brings up Wally World. Wally World is 1 for 3 with a double. 6-6 against the lefty. He might get another double. 1-10. That's an 8. It's another double for Wally World. He has 2 doubles on the game. He's doubled up his doubles. Now the tying run is at the plate in Brian Downing. He had a 2-run single his last time up. That's a 2. chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a pass ball chance on Witt, and I did not look at his pass ball rating and write it down. So I go to the computer, check his pass ball rating. Ernie Witt's pass ball rating is a 3. So it has to be a 1, 2, or a 3 to be a pass ball. Anything else, we just ignore it. That's 10, so he blocks it. Here's Downing. 2-6 against the lefty. That's a single to right field. There's an anti-clutch, but they're not 2 outs. So the single will stand, but you're not going to run on Jesse Barfield, at least Wally Joyner isn't. So runners are at first and third now. And that's going to bring up the Sensei, and the Blue Jays might be going to their bullpen. And they are. They're not going to mess around. They're going with Tom Hinkie. Jimmy Key will depart. He can win it, but he can't lose it. They didn't want to leave him in there where he could possibly take a loss. So Tom Hinkie will be entering the ball game. He is a 0 hold, so 0 total. And we'll get the number. We can't do the numbers yet on Key because these 2 guys are his responsibility. He does go 7 in the third. We know that. And he does give up 7 hits. 3 runs at the moment, but these 2 are his responsibility. Let's see, walks. I don't think he walked anyone. Immaculate control. He didn't walk anybody. Only struck out 3. And now Hinkie will be facing the Sensei. The Sensei is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. That was against Key. Now he's got to do it against Hinkie. Second and third, 1 out. Infield is back. They don't want a ball getting through to tie the game. So they are back. 2-7, and that's a walk. It's going to load the bases. So Hinkie starts out walking to Sensei. Not good for that. I forgot to give you the numbers on Hinkie, so let me do that real quick. Hinkie comes to the game 0-3 with 8 saves and a 5.60 earned run average. 18 innings pitched, 21 hits, 10 walks, and 18 strikeouts. So he has been struggling all season. But the Blue Jays, he's their guy, so they're turning to him. Bases loaded. 1 out for Devon White. Infield back for the double play. That's another 2 to chance for a balk or a pass ball. We're looking at a balk chance on Hinkie. You know, you're right. You're right. I just noticed that, Amware, thank you for noticing that, Amware. I'm so used to writing down zeros, I forgot to give the home run credit to Jesse Barfield in the 7th inning. You are absolutely correct. So it's actually 6-3 game, not 5-3. You are 100% correct. Thank you for catching that. Look at my computer screen. I can see it's 6-3, but my score sheet didn't reflect that. But we do now, so that's a good thing. But we're checking the balk rating on Hinkie. I go to the computer for that. And Hinkie's balk rating is a 0, so he cannot balk. His wild pitch is an 11, but his balk is a 0. So he's going to pitch to Devon White. That's a 6-7, switch hitter batting left, and that's a strikeout. That's a huge strikeout for Hinkie. And that is out number 2. And now the defense can go back to their normal positions for Bob Boone. Now the question is, do you want to hit for Bob Boone? He's a 242 hitter. But if you look at the bench, you might be looking at a pinch hitter that might be able to come in and get a key hit. So they're going to make the move to the bench. And they're going to bring in Rupert Jones to pinch hit. And Darryl Miller will come into the game to catch. So Rupert Jones will hit for Bob Boone in a clutch situation, as they say. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Can't get much more clutch than that. And Rupert Jones will get the call. Pinch hitting here in the 8th inning for Mr. Boone. And then Miller will catch the 9th. So Rupert Jones is the man that will try to get the big base hit. And Bob Boone will get the rest of the game off. So let's see what Rupert Jones has done on the replay to this point. Jones hitting 205, 3 homers, 4 driven in. He hit 245 real world. So bases loaded, 2 outs. Jones in the clutch against right-handers will gain a hit on 1-5 and 1-10 and on 3-6, so he's a good clutch hitter. 6-6, though, is going to be a strikeout against Hinkie. So after walking down to Sensei, Hinkie comes back and strikes out the last 2 he faces to get out of the jam and keep the score at 6-3 in favor of the Blue Jays. And it also bodes well for Jimmy Key getting his 9th win. So on the Strat computer, now we have to make the substitution and bring Miller in to catch. Leaves Polidor and Ryle as bench players remaining for the Angels. Ryle, the outfielder, and Polidor, the utility infielder. So Miller in to catch. And we'll go to the top of the 9th. George Bell, rather. George Bell, followed by Barfield and Upshaw. So Bell, Barfield, and Upshaw for the Blue Jays as they lead at 6-3 here in the top of the 9th against Mike Cook. 3-9, and that's a pop out to first base. So Wally World is there, 1 away. Brings up Barfield. And, of course, Barfield had the big home run to give him the insurance. His 14th homer of the season. 3-7. This time he will strike out. So 2 down for Upshaw. Upshaw is 0 for 2. He's walked twice and flown to right twice. It's a 1-7, and he will strike out to end the inning. So Mike Cook does very well for himself, goes 2 innings, and gives up basically nothing, just a single. And he strikes out 3. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Angels. It'll be scheduled here is Howell, Pettis, and McLemore against Tom Hinkie. You'll see if that's what they go with, or do they go with somebody off the bench. Ryle could come in and pinch hit for maybe McLemore if they think he can't get it done. And they could bring in, if they tie the game, they could then bring in Polidor to play second base. So that's a thought. Mark Ryle has picked up a bat, and he is swinging on the on-deck circle for the California Angels. Mark Ryle, a 200 hitter, but he does have 5 home runs. So it's going to be McLemore only hits 236, so McLemore will be pinch hit for by Ryle. Ryle will get the call, but first things first, it's Howell and Pettis, the first 2 up for the Angels against Tom Hinkie. 6-6, and that's another strikeout for Hinkie. Strikes out Howell. So maybe Hinkie working his way through his troubles from early season on is starting to feel a little bit. With Barry Pettis, 5-6. Switcher to batting left. That's another strikeout. So Hinkie has struck out 4 of the 5 he's faced. He gave up a walk to the first batter, but has struck out the last 4 he has faced. And now pinch hitter Mark Ryle will come in for McLemore. And he'll see if he can get something started. If it does go to the 10th inning, they could bring in Gus Polidor to play second base. So Mark Ryle. And Ryle on the replay is hitting 269, 5 homers, 11 driven in, and just 26 at-bats. So he's already got 5 home runs in 26 at-bats. He did it in 100 at-bats real world, but in 26 at-bats, he's already had 5 home runs. Hinkie, 6'10". That's a catcher X. We're looking at Ernie Witt. He's a 2E2. 2-11. Bases are clear, so no pass balls or anything. Let's see, 2 and an 11 is a pop out. And this is also an 11, and he is an E2. There is no 11, so it's going to be a pop out to Witt, and there's your ball game. The Toronto Blue Jays defeat the California Angels by the final score of 6-3. And we'll get the totals from the box score and wrap this thing up and figure out what the next game will be for tomorrow. All right, so complete the numbers on Jimmy Key: 7 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, no walks. I'm sorry, he had 1 walk. I missed his walk somewhere. Where in the heck did he walk a batter? I don't remember him walking anybody. When did he walk a batter? I'm swearing I don't see a walk here. Make sure I didn't give one of his singles to be a walk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's 7 hits. Computer says he walked a batter, but I'm not seeing it. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Downey, he walked down. He sure did. Would have been a snake, it would have bit me. So, did have the one walk. Tom Hinkey's going to go an inning and 2/3 for his 9th save. So Key gets his 9th win, and Hinkey gets his 9th save. Hinkey gave up nothing, a walk and 4 strikeouts, nothing else. So for Toronto, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors. For California, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. And left on base, Blue Jays left on 9, California left on 6. Losing pitcher, of course, was Jack Lazorko. He drops to 0-1. It was his first start of the game. Home runs in the game, McGriff hit his 7th, and Barfield hit his 14th. Those were the 2 home runs in the game. Toronto now 25-13. California drops to 18-22. And as I look at the standings in the American League up to the minute, let's look at the standings. Toronto is now a half game back in Milwaukee. They are 25-13. Milwaukee is 24-11. The Yankees are 25-14, so they got 1 less loss than the Yankees do. And if we look at Jimmy Key now, he is now 9-0. And his ERA took a slight hit. It's now up to 1.48. So he's 9-0 with a 1.48 earned run average. He's had 10 starts now, 3 complete games, 2 shutouts. He's pitched 79 innings pitched, 54 hits, 21 walks, and 55 strikeouts. And as I look at the league leaders in pitching in this league, I think he's still got a pretty substantial lead in the ERA and the wins. So we'll take a look here real quick. Yeah, Jimmy Key, the next closest is Rich Dotson at 1.96. Jimmy Key has 9 wins. And let's see who else has. Anybody else has more wins? Nope, the next closest is Jim Clancy, his teammate, with 7, and Charlie Huff with 7. Nobody else is closer than that. So he's got a good shot to win the Triple Crown, except for strikeouts. He's way, way back on strikeouts. He's not going to – when you're dealing with guys like Roger Clemens and stuff, it's going to be kind of hard to win the strikeout battle. In fact, Mark Langston actually leads in strikeouts with 70. Well, Jimmy Key is at 55, so he's actually tied for 4th in strikeouts with Clemens. But that's a long haul back from Mark Langston. But if he gets the win title and the ERA title, I'm sure he will be happy, and Toronto might very well win this American League East if that's the case. So that's going to do it from here for this game. Tonight will be the Padres and the Yankees in the Demolition League 2024. And as I look at the schedule on this one, let's see what we got here. Who do we want to do for tomorrow? Boy, there's just not a lot out there. Not a lot of good matchups out there at all. It's either going to be the Yankees in Oakland with Charles Hudson against Eric Plunk, or it's going to be Detroit at Texas, Dan Petrie and Bobby Witt. Those would be the two that I would think would have the biggest, the best matchups, because the other matchups just aren't very good. Baltimore and Seattle is Habian against Mike Morgan. White Sox in Milwaukee is Joel Davis against Nieves. So those are the only ones out there. Now, for the 21st, when we get to the 21st, there's only one game played that day, and that's Minnesota at Cleveland. So we will be doing that one for sure because it's the only game on the schedule. Burt Blyleven and Greg Swindell. But probably for tomorrow, we're probably looking – I'm leaning towards Detroit and Texas, Petrie and Witt. That's probably the game I'm going to select. The other ones I may play offline. But that's going to probably be the ones I select. So we're looking most likely at Detroit at Texas. So you get to see more Bobby Valentine. Not that you want to. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys spending part of your Thursday morning with me. Hopefully, if you're at work or in the office or whatever, this has been a slight distraction for you to help your workday along. I don't know if any of these. Oh, are you still here, Dr. D? I forgot. I said I was going to explain this for you on this video, and I forgot to bring it up. So let me just make sure. I'm not sure if Dr. D is still here or not. I was going to go over that holding the runner secondary lead with him, but I don't know if he's still here. I may have to do it in the next game. I'll have to try to do it on the next game, Dr. D. Maybe I'll do it at the very beginning of the game so I don't forget to do it at the end. So we'll do it tomorrow, Dr. D. No sweat. We'll do it tomorrow. I'll have it set up and show you tomorrow. I don't know if you guys got any benefit out of the Strat computer stuff I've done the last couple of times showing the Strat computer stuff. If that's something that's helpful, let me know and I'll do some more of it. If not, I'll stick to the cards and dice and not worry about the computer stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. So until next time, have fun in the hobby. Enjoy your Thursday. And remember to play whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road. Blue Jays win 6-3. Jimmy Key 9-0.